Welcome to the ROH Final Battle post show brought to you by BodySlam.net. We are so excited to be here with you. I want to preface the show by saying, one, this is my first time hosting a post show by myself. Secondly, I am also watching, well, this was my first time watching an ROH pay per view for the first time. Um, like actually live. I watched ROH matches obviously, but I've never watched like a pay-per-view in full. So I did my best to try to catch up on all of the storylines, all that good stuff. But more importantly, we do have my friend Carissa here. Carissa, how are you doing? How did you like the show?
I'm truly exhausted, honestly, to say the least. But I really did enjoy the show. There was a lot of great wrestling on the show. There was a lot of surprises that popped up.
Yes.
Forbidden Door happened.
Yep.
Um, the video messages from former talent that wrestled in Ring of Honor, I think, was amazing, and overall just a great pay per view. And I hope to see what comes for the future of Ring of Honor next year.
Yeah, that's a lot of what we're hoping for right now is we really like this pay-per-view. We just hope that there is still more left for ROH because they are ingrained in the heart and soul of what wrestling is. So I think we did you watch the pre-show also?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay, I think we could start from the pre-show then. So we started off the show with STP versus the Righteous for the six-man tag titles. So in this match, I have a full list of all of the members. We had Khan, Moses, and O'Shea Edwards of STP facing off against Vincent, Bateman, and Dutch of the Righteous. And of course, we had Ron Hunt and Vita Von Star at ringside for this match. Carissa, what did you think about this match and the outcome of having new six-man tag champs?
Honestly, I really enjoyed this match a whole lot. I
Yep.
mean, the Righteous, they've been on a roll. I remember it was before the pandemic, I believe. That was when Vincent turned on Matt Taven, and then from then on, he started to create his faction of the Righteous,
Yep.
including Bateman, including Vita Von Star. And then later on during the pandemic, during last year, Dutch came in, and it was like perfect fit for him. And seeing the evolution of this faction, seeing them actually win the six-man tag titles, I didn't expect that, but I'm grateful to know that they won it because Vincent is a former six-man tag team champion with Matt Taven and I forgot somebody else. He was an inaugural champion back in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a great match to see that from 5 years ago, him being a member of a faction to now being the leader of a faction. And I think it was overall a fantastic match.
Yeah, I really liked this match too. O'Shea got a really good ovation during this match. Really happy to see that for him. And Moses just jumping over the top rope, like that's crazy. Like even the simple things like that, like seeing a man that big, just like hold on to the rope and jump over. I was like, hold on, pause. What is happening? And obviously, I'm biased. I love SGP, so I kind of shed a couple tears at the end. Ron Hunt consoled me on Twitter, so it was fine. You know, me and him are besties now. It's all good. Um, but I literally wrote Vincent pinned O'Shea, BRB, gonna go cry, because that's literally how I felt. But that orange sunshine that Vincent hit on him looked so good, and their handshake at the end completed Code of Honor and everything like that. But this was a really, really good match. And then after this match, we had Maria Canales, and she brought out the first ROH World Title. And then they announced that Jonathan Gresham and Jay Lethal were going to be fighting for the first world title. And then they had the guy in the ring do the first announcement, like the official announcement. Did you have any thoughts on the world title coming back, like the original world title for this?
Honestly, not really, because I knew Bandito wasn't gonna, be at the venue, be at the pay per view because he had COVID. Best wishes to him. I honestly thought that we were just gonna get a one-on-one match for Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham, but when they announced the OG title coming back, I think was a perfect fit for that match, knowing that it's the main event and that people like Homicide, Brian Danielson, Tyler Black, we know now as Seth Rollins. There's a lineage of that title, and the fact that they brought that back just for this pay per view for that main event meant everything to everybody, not just the fans, but to everybody that put the hard work for Ring of Honor.
Right. They really leaned into the history of ROH for this show as they needed to. And then they announced that Rocky Romero was going to be on commentary for the next match, but he ended up just joining in on the Violence Unlimited match that we'll see later on in the show. And we can talk about that when that comes. But next match we had the Allure and Miranda Alizé versus the Hex and Chelsea Green. And this was my first time seeing Alizé in a match, and I really like her. I think she's going to have some options after she leaves ROH, so probably get picked up somewhere, I think. But I think the Hex, since the Hex are the NWA and Shine Women's Tag Champions, they were my favorites going into this match. I didn't think that they would get pinned here. So I was surprised with the result of Mandy Leon pinning Marty Bell. I thought that finish was a little bit botched, to be honest. It looked like she was struggling to get her up for the actual projection finisher. But what did you think about this?
I think it was a great match. I'm not saying it was a fantastic. It was a great match because we saw women's wrestling. The Hex, Allison Kay, Marty Bell have been on a roll in NWA as being tag champions over there, and then
Yep.
on independent circuit they're Shine Tag Team champions. They've been on a roll there too. Um, Allison Kay, she's been in almost every single promotion you know
We
of.
love Allison Kay over here. Love her.
She's been on Impact, Ring of Honor. Um, she did the AEW Full Gear pre-show last year, I believe. She did the Mae Young Classic. She's been everywhere.
Oh yeah, she did do the Mayon Classic. Yep, the one that Tony Storm won.
Yeah, so her and Marty Bell are real life besties. To know that they work so well and include Chelsea Green, who's also been everywhere. You know, their chemistry together is just amazing. The way that they work together shows off a lot of what they can do.
Yeah.
And Miranda Alizé, she's been on Impact. She's been on AEW Dark. She's been on Independent
Oh,
Circuit
she's been on Dark? I didn't know that.
during the pandemic. Yeah,
Okay.
so she's
Yep. I'm
been
gonna check that out.
in almost every single promotion except for WWE. But I hope Impact picks her up because I think she's a perfect fit. I remember seeing Miranda Alizé actually when I started watching Impact when they were doing their shows in Vegas. I turned on TV. It was her versus Jordan Grace. I think it was Jordan. It was a prove yourself match for Jordan Grace to elevate Grace into the Knockouts title picture, and
Mhm.
having her and Alizé together, that match was amazing. If you can go back to like
Yeah.
2019 when they had it, but Miranda Alizé has eyes.
She'd be a good fit for AEW too, I think. I just think that their division needs a little bit of refining, their women's division, that is. But they said that on commentary that they called their tag team, well, Chelsea Green and the Hex, the Hot Mess Hexpress, which I thought was cute and funny. Um, and I love Chelsea Green. And I thought that the wedding graphics she got at the beginning, like in her entrance, and then it dripped down to the hot mess. I thought that was super cute too. But the Allure, the whole story in the match was that the Allure didn't really like Alizé, but they had to work with her in this match, and they actually ended up working together really well, and they all hugged each other at the end. And I thought that was cute. Um, in the next segment, we do see EC3 in an interview. As reported by Sean Ross Sapp, that he was in the area. And then EC3 basically got, what's the word? He got recruited to join the match that Rocky Romero got recruited into as well. So we'll talk about that later as well. But then we see Danhausen on commentary for this next match. So we see the bouncers and the world famous CB, or I feel like we could just call him Cheeseburger here because that's just who he was this time. With Flip Gordon and BJ Black, or is it PJ Black? I don't know. Every time they said it,
PJ Black.
B
PJ Black.
P. Okay. Every time I heard it, I was like, I cannot tell if that's a P or a B. And then they took on LSG, Demonic Flamita, um, Will Ferreira, Sledge, and Max the Impaler. And this whole match, I feel like, was just meant to be like a feel good match, just lots of great wrestling, lots of great chemistry. And at the end, we see Flip Gordon really happy because PJ gets the win with the black flip. So, what did you think about this match?
I think it was a great match. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. I know Flip Gordon is just amazing in the ring.
Yeah.
I know he had that little story. I think it was Death Before Dishonor. I forgot which pay per view where like they had his character kind of lose his memory in a way, and PJ Black is his doctor, and then put them together as a team, helping him get his memory back. And he like the segments he had backstage during the Ring of Honor episodes were like really fantastic. You could see the entertaining side of him, and PJ Black. He's been in WWE. He's been on Lucha Underground, New Japan, Ring of Honor. I believe no, he didn't do Impact, so he did like all these other promotions. And I mean, I don't mind seeing PJ back in WWE. Honestly, I felt like that was a missed opportunity in a way. I know stuff happened, so there's that. But I think this match overall was like fantastic. You saw everybody, being showcased in a way, especially Max the Impaler. I gotta give it up for them.
Yeah.
Honestly, they were just
I think the star of this match.
no. When I saw that they announced Max, I was like, they announced Max. They are amazing in a ring, male or female, no matter your sexuality. They are fantastic, honestly.
Yeah. That was crazy. Um, so after this, we see Rocky Romero and EC3 officially get added to the match later with Ice on Rust, and all those guys. But the next match we see is actually the start of the show. This is when we move off of the pre-show onto the main show. So we see Dragon Lee versus Ray Orris. And there was lots of Dragon Lee chants at the beginning. Dragon Lee was working the back of Orris to like prevent him from hitting his finisher. During this match, we actually got a shout out to Ali Cease and Emily Cease, who are for the Kentucky Twins. That was super cute. And then they were both like telegraphing each other's moves. Not Ali and Emily Cease. They weren't fight. We're back to Dragon Lee and Aura. Sorry. But they were both telegraphing each other's moves. It was a super, super close 3. And then Oris and just ended up bleeding from the mouth and kicked out of the first incarcerator. And then the second incarcerator was when Dragon Lee got the pin. What did you think about this whole match?
This was a fantastic match. Seeing two luchadors battle it out in the ring. I mean, not that long, like last week or something, Dragon Lee was in Mexico with his brother. Came back to the States. Did his what could be his final Ring of Honor match. He's a former 2-time TV champion in Ring of Honor, a former tag team champion. I think this was a fantastic match, and I enjoyed just watching Lucha Libre.
Yeah. Yep. In the next little promo pack. Oh, I don't know what just happened. Sorry about that. I just gave you a sneak peek into Fantasy Booking Friday, I guess. In the next match, we see not even the next match. Sorry, in the next segment, we see Eddie Edwards in a video. We see a bunch of these throughout the show, like Carisa mentioned earlier, of people who have been in ROH just coming on the screen and just saying thank you for their time and just reminiscing. And we see Eddie Edwards in the first one. Did you have any thoughts about this or any of the other like promo segments that we saw, just so we don't have to address it every single time?
I mean, it was a great gesture of like having executives and presidents from each promotion letting their talent that used to work in Ring of Honor do a 30-second video and just airing it on TV, airing it live for the pay-per-view. It was heartwarming, and I'm glad that they got the permission to do that. I mean, I wish I couldn't see a couple more faces or a couple names that I wish could have been there,
What
but
you wanted to see?
honestly, I wanted to see Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Cody Rhodes, honestly. Well,
Kyle O'Reilly, you're a free agent. You should have did it.
Kenny Omega, he's a Ring of Honor years ago.
Yep. Next match, we have a TV title match. So we have Joe Hendry versus the champion, Dalton Castle, versus Silas Young, versus my favorite man right now, Rhett Titus. I literally wrote my notes. I love Rhett Titus. I saw him for the first time on Hard Times 2, and I guess he's one of my new favorite wrestlers now. But we see them trying to tease the Castle and Hendry matchup within this match because they do have the history. We see Hendry come back with a whole new look. Body Slam actually just did an interview with him yesterday, 2 days ago. So you guys can check that out on the Body Slam page if you're interested. Cass and Dom got to talk to him. And that was a super great interview. But I guess we see Castle leaving the ring a lot. This was my first Dalton Castle match. So I was like, what the hell is happening? I see him walking around with a bunch of people. I'm like, what is this? Just like very, very confused. Sorry, I'm getting like news and stuff like that as this is happening. Apparently, Jonathan Gresham is doing an impromptu meet and greet right now after the match happened. So everybody at ROH Final Battle is getting to meet Jonathan Gresham right now.
Kate, twin.
I got Kate in here later. Oh my god. But Titus is being so technical in this match, and I could just talk about Titus all day. He has such great strength and ability. Literally, we see him like pull himself up. So he like skinned the cat. I think that's what it's called. Skin the cat. So he went over the ropes. He pulled himself up by his abs and got on the top buckle, like top belt, not belt buckle. Wow. Turnbuckle. Thank you. It is almost 12 o'clock at night, and I'm struggling today. But we do see Hendry pick up and drop both Titus and Silas Young, which I thought was insane. I don't know how he picked up both of them, but we see Hendry cheat and use the TV title on Castle. And then at the end of this match, we see Rhett Titus pick up the win, and I was so excited. I literally screamed. So I definitely popped for this match. Carissa, what were your thoughts on this match?
I mean, can I just say, Rhett Titus is in the best shape of his life.
Yes.
I mean, that man does not have a cheat meal at all.
Dude.
His diet throughout.
You don't eat no cheeseburgers.
No. Because I remember, I forgot, somebody had told me that one time they were hanging out with Rhett Titus, he would smell the cheat meal, but he would eat his real food. So he could.
No way. You're joking.
No, I'm real.
I'm going to ask him about that. I think I have an interview with him coming up, and I'm going to ask him about that, smelling his cheat meal. That's crazy.
I think it was Jay Lethal that told me that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was Jay Lethal.
Yeah. So, in the next...
Oh. But I did love this match, honestly. It was great to see Joe Hendry back. I missed his theme song.
That theme song is hilarious.
He is in the best shape ever, honestly. I mean, he's been in Europe for a while, ever since everything. So, I mean, Dalton Castle. So Dalton Castle, the people around him, they're called the boys. They're like
the what?
The boys.
Why?
Honestly, I don't know. It's been a gimmick of his for so many years. They just crowd around him and cheer him on or do stuff like that. I remember one of his entrances from like years ago. He had peacock feathers like in his entrance. Yes, because his nickname is the Planet Peacock.
Okay, I just want to make a face. I have somebody gave me toys to play with on the StreamYard.
Sour Boy!
I just wanted to put that one up because That's the face that I made when you said the peacock feathers. But I thought it was really sweet to see Red Titus finally get his moment. You know, Sean posted it was like 15 years without a singles title. So I'm really excited for him to have this moment. He also liked my tweet and followed me. So shout out to Red Titus. He's a real one. But now we see a clip from Hangman Adam Page, the AEW World Champion, saying thank you to ROH also. Super sweet video clip. I was not expecting Page to be the ones to do one of these, especially so early that I was like, oh, we're getting them from everybody that we want to see them now. But this next match was probably one of my favorite matches of the night, to be honest. We have Brian Johnson taking on a beautiful man in Josh Woods for the Pure Championship. BJ told everybody to get bent, and I don't know what that means. But you know what I do know?
I don't think I know what that means.
First of all, I resent his tone.
I don't know what that means. That's probably a Philly thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I love that when he came out after his entrance theme, called out the American Dragon. He called out multiple former Pure champions, and I was
like the legends. Yeah. But I thought that it was really intriguing to see how fast BJ used 2 of his rope breaks, because in the Pure title, in Pure match rules, you only have 3 rope breaks, but Josh Woods was being so smart about how to get him to use his rope breaks and all of that stuff. And I think that Brian Johnson is a really respectable heel. Like, even if Eddie Kingston was a heel, you would respect him so much. I don't know how you can make that a part of your character, but he did really well with that. And Josh Woods forced BJ or Brian Johnson to use his rope break in the last his last rope break. Like, he didn't want to, but he pushed him against the ropes and made him use it, which I thought was really smart. We see Brian Johnson try to cheat with the brass knucks, but Josh Woods kicks out. And I literally wrote my notes, I love Josh Woods. And then we see Josh Woods actually submit Brian Johnson on the top rope on the top turnbuckle, because he has no more rope breaks. How did you feel about this whole match?
I mean, I love mat wrestling. I love pure wrestling. I think this was a great match. It was a great story that was being told. I mean, Josh Woods has amateur wrestling experience from college. He has MMA experience as well. He did a short stint with NXT, but then left to join Ring of Honor.
He's a beefy man.
Listen, he has somebody, so
I don't care if you have Lee Murray already got somebody, and I thirst over him all day. That don't matter to me. That man is 32. He is not trying to get with me. We're chilling over here.
Josh Woods has a boyfriend. Leave him alone.
Okay. In the next clip, we see Jimmy Jacobs send a video just thanking everybody, and I feel like this was one of the more emotional videos. His tone was very soothing when he was speaking. But this is probably, sue me, but my match of the night. Once again, I am biased. I love me some Shane Taylor. We see Shane Taylor take on Kenny King in a fight without honor. They, on commentary, they acknowledged that there were a few spots in other companies. They say AEW, they say WWE, they say Impact. Because that's what a lot of this actually feels like, is people are keeping their eye on them now to see who they want to take. And Shane Taylor versus Kenny King is actually a match that might be like, okay, who in this match can we really see work? Do we want to take them? I recorded a lot of spots. I always like to point out Shane Taylor's striking. There was this one punch he threw to Kenny King, and King like knocked out on the table. Then we see Shane do like a splash, like a running jump splash onto the table, and just like squish him. And we see early before that, King does a strong neck breaker through the table to Shane Taylor. And both of these guys did a really good job throughout the match of letting their moves simmer. And that's one thing that like coaches will always tell wrestlers, slow down, let the move sit, let it sink in. And both of these guys are veterans, so they're able to do that very, very well. Let me see what else I have in my notes. We see Kenny pick up Shane and run him through a table. I could never pick up Shane Taylor and run him through a table. That was crazy. And then we see Kenny King. Well, originally, Shane Taylor was the one who set up the 2 ladders. Well, the 3 ladders. We see Kenny King climb backwards up the ladder with Shane Taylor laying flat on the ladder that is being perched in between the two ladders. And then he's just climbing up backwards, which already was insane enough for me. And we see him just do a splash onto the ladder. And we still see Shane kick out. And then we see Shane and Kenny fight on top of a ladder, which is going from the ring to the barricade, and Shane calls over two of the staff to come and hold up the ladder, and they're punching each other. And then Shane hits a pile driver, a Gotch style pile driver. No, sorry, a Marcus Gary driver. Sorry, don't sue me. On the ladder to King, which was a what the fuck moment. And then after this match, at the end, we do see another Marcus Gary driver inside the ring for the pin after King calls for more. And then we see all of the members that happen to be black from the locker room come out and they all hug each other. And it's a very, very emotional moment. How did you feel about this match? There was lots of great spots in here, and I just wanted to run through some of them.
Yeah, I agree with you. Some of those spots were like crazy. So
Yep.
like the table spot like opened my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
The one I think was when Shane Taylor was like on the barricade or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then he did that ladder spot with Kenny. It was like, now they're really going at it. Like, this isn't not just a wrestling match. This feels like a street fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And 100% black excellence right here. All the, Caprice Coleman, Moses, O'Shea, Khan, a couple others as well,
Ron Hunt was there. Cheeseburger was there. I think there was another person I'm missing. I'm surprised Eli didn't come out with them, but
yeah, but like having all of them just come out post match,
yep,
felt needed in a way.
right. Yeah, felt just. Next, we see another segment, another video from a former ROH roster member, and we see CM Punk. And I already knew Kate was in that crowd crying when she saw this. I literally wrote in my notes, Kate is crying. This was another sweet video. Were you expecting Punk to get a video here?
Kind of, in a way, but not entirely. Because I know he was busy, because I know he was doing the Chicago Expo.
Yeah, with Don Housen. Once we saw Paige, I was like, they probably taped all these at Rampage and sent them over, so I thought they would. But next match we see is the ROH Women's Title match. We see Roxy, the current champion, take on Willow Nightingale, and this was my first time watching Roxy in ROH. I told Carissa this earlier. I've seen a couple Willow Nightingale matches. I've seen Roxy in Reality of Wrestling, but never in ROH specifically. But we see Willow countering every single move Roxy was trying to hit at the beginning of the match. She caught the moonsault knees. She transitioned the code rock into a like pile driver, I guess. Like she just like went down, so I guess it was like a pile driver. Willow even took her lashes off during the match. Willow hit this crazy pounce that was like reminiscent of Keith Lee. But Roxy was always able to adapt throughout the match and always come up with new ways to get out of the moves and stuff like that. There were lots of close calls for Willow to get the win here, but we see Roxy eventually win with the code Rock. And at the end of the match, the post-match, we see Deonna Purrazzo, reported by Sean Ross Sapp, come out and challenge Roxy to a winner-take-all match. And there was a fast handshake from Roxy, so this means following the Hard to Kill show, which will take place in Dallas, Texas, where Mickie James faces off with Deonna Purrazzo, they will do a match possibly for the Knockouts title, but we know definitely for the Reyes title versus Roxy for the ROH Women's title, and it is a winner-take-all match. So that means that Roxy could be walking away with the Reyes and Knockouts title and ROH title the other way around for Deonna Purrazzo. What do you think about this match and the post-match of Deonna coming out and challenging her?
Okay, see, I mean, I knew Deonna was going to be there, obviously. Yeah. Knowing that she said winner takes all, kind of gave me hope for Ring of Honor. But in a sense, I know that this is a long hiatus for the company. Yeah. But seeing Roxy versus Diana, I think that match is going to be 5 stars. Honestly, they're both technical wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
I know Roxy's also booked in January for MLW's Blood and Thunder in Dallas.
Yes. W. Yep.
So she's gonna have a lot on her plate. For only being 20 years old, she's gonna have a lot on her plate for now.
I wonder where they're gonna do this match. Like, I know it's gonna be an Impact, obviously, but I just wonder like what pay-per-view or whatever. I don't know what comes after Hard to Kill. I am not exactly sure. I don't know if you can announce it.
I think it's I think it's an Impact Plus special, and after
I think it is too.
Yeah, so I was gonna say Rebellion.
I don't remember exactly, but it's something too. It's like a second edition.
January of this year.
Let me look it up.
They have Rebellion this year. That was when Kenny Omega won the Impact World title.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to find this. Turning Point already took place. It looks like it's Throwback Throwdown, December 18th. So that's not next. That's coming up soon.
That's
right.
That's gonna be taped.
Yeah. When is Hard to Kill?
Okay.
Oh, so then they haven't announced it, so we don't know when it will take place. Okay.
Yeah.
But next we see an Adam Cole promo message, just like the ones that we saw before with Punk and Paige and all that stuff. And then we see Violence Unlimited and Rocky Romero taking on Eli Isom, EC3, Taylor Russ, and Tracy Williams. I got a couple spots down here. We saw Tony Deppen do a cool pull through pin on Tyler Rust with his arms like through the pin. I thought that was super cool. I've never seen that before. I was very confused as to why they were barking ringside, like while they were on the apron. I don't know why they were barking. I don't think I'm ever gonna get an answer to that. Brody King is big and scary. The senton he does is scary. I really like Tony Deppen also. I saw him in the GCW show and I think he's really good. And I hope that he gets some work soon. Very, very strong wrestler. And Homicide. Sorry, I just got the chills because I reimagined this. Homicide put a fork in EC3's pressure points. He put one right near his chest and his like neck. Like it was very nasty. I still love Taylor Russ. He did a cattle mutilation on Rocky Romero. Eli did a shout out to Sami Zayn, El Generico in this match with the haluva kick, and then he did like a brainbuster on the turnbuckle, which also shades of El Generico and full of callbacks to him. I mean, obviously it's a show full of callbacks, and we see Homicide hit Eli with the cop killer. But Eli actually kicks out, and then we see Brody hit Eli with his finisher. I think it's called like the War Bomb or something like that.
Gonzo Bomb.
There you go. And then we see a double pin with, I think it was Deppen also was pinning him as well. But Eli looked really strong throughout this match, and I hope that Eli figures this out once we talk about this post-match stuff. So without getting into this post-match stuff of EC3, what did you think of the match itself?
I really enjoyed this match. I mean, I love seeing Homicide wrestle. Honestly, he's OG of Ring of Honor.
Of course.
I mean, the homie,
his best friend.
Yeah, the homie 187. I mean, he can still wrestle to this day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see him back in AEW. I know he only did one like.
He wasn't even supposed to be at that show. He was just there backstage, and they said, "Come do the show. Come be in the match with us." So,
yeah. And
I got to show up.
Rocky Romero, that man has been busy. Yep.
He's booked and busy. He's everywhere.
Look, he's booking the matches at New Japan Strong because that's what he's doing over there. AEW, they just call him in, and he's
one of the best friends.
Chaos. I mean, he said, Orange Cassidy.
Chaos. Sorry.
I mean, we're missing one more member of Chaos to appear on AEW, and his name.
We're missing Carisa.
Kazuchika Okada.
and you're waiting for it. Yes, all of Twitter is waiting for it. Also, Twitter's going to explode. What is their next match? They should have scheduled something like that for like Winter is Coming or Battle of the Belts or something.
I mean,
it has to be coming.
I don't know, because he does have a match for Wrestle Kingdom in January, so.
Okay, Battle of the Belts. It sounds like
Probably.
Maybe. Okay.
But I did enjoy this match. I mean, EC3 overall, the best people was still doing amazing. Like every single one of them individually had a great showcase.
Yeah.
But post match wise,
we're gonna get into it in a second. Feel free to leave a comment on anything about the show. Even if we've covered it, we'll circle back to it for you guys. Feel free to leave a comment and get involved in the conversation. But in the post-match, we see EC3 kind of call out some of the roster members. He tells Eli Isom to stay in the ring. And then we see Brian Johnson also come out because he got called out. There was another person that came out. I forgot his name. There you go. But then we see EC3 say, I can give you guys an opportunity, but you have to fight. And they call out the Titan, Adam Scherr, formerly known as Braun Strowman. And they offer the 3 ROH guys freedom, but they still beat them up, which made me very confused. We also see the former Wesley Blake in here and somebody else coming to bat for...
Let me find his name.
Okay. If you saw it, yeah, that's great. Coming back for EC3 and...
All right, I got it. Merton Ward.
Okay, that's his name, I guess. But as they leave, they're taking the bodies that they just beat up. So I'm guessing they're going to be a part of the next Control the Narrative series, which will be like the 3rd edition or something like that. What did you think about this post-match and seeing Adam Scherr in ROH?
Honestly, I didn't expect him to be in ROH because I know he was heavily rumored to be an Impact.
I'll tell you after the show why he was not an Impact. I had already told you, but
honestly, I mean, Control the Narrative has been the talk of the town, honestly. Like, EC3 is very creative in his mind and knows, what he wants. So seeing, Control Your Narrative being such a trend, you see a lot of people, use that as, breaking out of their shell or, expanding on new horizons in life and, like, starting a new chapter. And I felt, him using ROH talent as well for this project. I mean, it's going to be, I think this next chapter of Control Your Narrative is going to be better than the first one.
Yes. In the next segment, we see a video from these 2 guys. Well, one of this guy and his brother.
Cut the camera, Brandon. Cut it.
They didn't do that, unfortunately. I wish they would have. That's my favorite clip. But we see Matt and Nick Jackson say their little thank you to ROH because obviously they had spent some time in Ring of Honor. And it was a very, very sweet video from them also. But in this next match, I think we have what you could call like the co-main event because they said that they had to flip a coin in order to decide which match would main event, which I don't really believe, but we have the Briscoes, Mark and Jay, taking on OGK. So that's Mike Bennett and Matt Taven for the tag titles. And we see Maria Kanellis-Bennett come out with them for this match, which I feel like she has to do it. But we see Taven actually take out Bennett through the ropes in one of the first big spots. I don't know if one of them moved aside. I don't remember exactly who it was. I have like floppy brain, but one of them moved aside and it was insane. And Taven took out Bennett. And then we see Mark use the chair to just kind of fly over the ring ropes and take out both of them, Taven and Bennett. You see throughout the match, Maria is just there living her best life, cheering on her husband. So passionate. Jay Briscoe gets cut like right above the eye. Mike Bennett is chopping the shit out of everybody. Taven hit a climax on Jay. Jay kicked out of that. Maria pulls the ref out of the ring after I think it was a Jay driller. I think it was. So then we didn't see that 3 count. And then we see Mike Bennett hit a spear on his wife. And I literally was like, what the hell? I've seen spots where they've like almost hit each other, but that one was crazy. And then everybody was just super working. They were working their butts off in this match. Taven kicked out of the first J driver. He kicked out of the Doomsday also. And then I think he said that he needed to be killed in order to lose. And then the Briscoes hit, I think it was another J driver, right? A J driller for the win here. And the Briscoes win with tears in their eyes, and they all hug after crying a little bit. And in the post-match, the Briscoes get the mic and issue a challenge to any tag team. The lights go dark, FTR's music hits, and we see them sitting across the ring, and they're just beating the shit out of each other. Like, so many people have to come and tear them apart. The crowd booed the hell out of FTR. Dax pushed somebody pushed a camera guy out of the way. Wheeler ripped his shirt off, and the whole match had me like this.
I'm sorry. You guys serious?
I literally got a soundboard. I don't know how to act. Sorry, I got one more in me, but I'm gonna save that one. What did you think about this whole match and the post match and FTR, the Briscoes, OGK, all that?
I mean, I knew that FTR were gonna come out and call out.
Sean announced it. Sean posted it.
Yeah, because they've been feuding on Twitter.
Yep.
But way before this, I believe FTR did an interview.
Amanda Nunes just lost.
Did she lose her title?
Holy shoot. Sorry, guys. I wanted to watch the UFC fight. Holy. I gotta text Cassidy. Holy. Sorry, guys. This is our live reaction. I didn't even get to watch the fight. Damn it. I'm sorry. I interrupted you, Carissa. I don't know if we can. Can I find a video for that? I'm gonna try to find one, but I'm listening.
But yeah, I expected FTR. FTR did an interview with AEW Unrestricted. Talk as Jericho. They talked about other teams that they wanted to face, and they called out the Briscoes. So that was like.
Anna called her shot. Everybody's freaking out. But yeah, I was expecting FTR after they kept talking to each other on Twitter. I'm gonna ask for a video. Hopefully somebody gives me a video. I wish I could watch UFC as much as I wish I could, but I can't right now. But after this match, we see Bryan Danielson come in on a video promo like we saw before with all the other guys, and they do a little thank you video just like before. Super, super sweet. I feel like this was the one I was expecting. When I knew that there was going to be one last one, I kind of knew it was going to be Danielson. But I do have to use this clip. I promised to use this clip, and I haven't yet. But now we are going to use it.
I think there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event.
Okay, I got it now, so we're good. We did the main event thing. But we have Jay Lethal versus Jonathan Gresham. My Twitter's going crazy. I'm flipping my phone over in this match. So it's the original world title at stake. We see all the guys back in the suits from the foundation. There's a super nice handshake at the beginning. There's so many wrist lock reversals at the beginning, like wrist lock after 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 wrist lock. You could just put it in a recording and just loop that because that's exactly what it was. We get a Terminus shout out on commentary. The whole crowd is split. You get Lethal, you get Gresham, you get Lethal, you get Gresham. Gresham is struggling to recover from hard-hitting strikes from Lethal. There's a sequence of roll-through pins. They're rolling through on each other, pinning each other. Lethal goes for a lethal injection, but his whole arm gave out. Jonathan Gresham is trying to strong arm Lethal into a chicken wing on the floor. And then Gresham even turned into a cutter after. The locker room begins to surround them at ringside, and then we see Jordan and Baron together at ringside, and Jordan is just wearing all the emotion on her face. She knows how much this means to her husband. But then we see Gresham lock in the octopus, and we see Lethal tap Baron Black and Jordan Grace rush the ring, and we see at the end of the show, April 2022, and that's all that we get. What do you think about the final match, the ending of ROH, all of that stuff?
I mean, Gresham and Lethal, I've seen matches that they've had in the past, like singles matches, and they've been amazing. But I think this one just
Oh my
tops.
god, Matt Reichel just sent me a picture with Jonathan Gresham as we're covering him. Sorry, I just had to show it. He literally was doing a meet and greet with everybody.
But yeah, so this match topped all the matches that they had in Ring of Honor, and it was great to see them win that title held by previous champions. I mean, I'd love to see more here, Lethal and Gresham. Honestly, I think
I don't want to see any more Lethal. I don't want to see him anywhere. No, I don't want to go to see him at Terminus, but I'm going to Terminus for everybody but him. Sorry, just my take.
But yeah, I don't mind seeing their matches over and over again. So
They have good chemistry, yeah.
They're former tag team champions.
Yeah.
Former pure champion, like in different generations, different eras. So yeah, it was great to see Gresham get his flowers and just seeing post match reaction. Everybody surrounding the ring. Jordan Grace being front and center right there, next to Baron Black. I mean, Baron Black is like his best friend. Jordan Grace
yeah.
Yeah.
They're married. That was so cute. That was the sweetest moment. I literally almost cried. So what do you think about the ending of ROH? What do you think about their future and how that's going to look right now?
I mean, I've seen rumors. I'm not gonna confirm anything, but I don't think Ring of Honor is gonna be what it was years ago. I think it's just gonna be an independent show, independent promotion, because that's how they started off back in 2002 with the Briscoes, Amazing Red, Eddie Guerrero, a lot of other people. It was any promotion before it became like a promotion.
Yep. We went through the show pretty quickly. I think we do this pretty fast when it's only the two of us. We got you guys in and out pretty fast and a nice review. Let the people know where they can find you, Carisa. What you got going on?
So check out my Twitter handle right there, Carisa L517. I post anything wrestling, K-pop, anime, and all that good stuff. Go check out my Instagram at Carisa._. So for my Twitter, I am close to 500 followers. And for my Instagram, I'm close to 1,900. So I wanted to get to those goals before the year ends. And I'm doing other projects as well that I'm doing for myself that are going to start in the new year. So be on the lookout for that.
Yep. Make sure you check her out on all platforms. You guys can follow me right there at Jaychele Nicole. This is always so hard for me to do. At Jaychele Nicole on Twitter. I'm always posting my body slam stuff on there. You guys can also check out bodyslam.net on Twitter at bodyslamnet. Check out all the articles, editorials, news coverage, anything you could ever want. Bodyslam.net. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel or to the Twitch channel if you're watching on the Twitch. I like you a little bit more than if you're watching on the YouTube because we're trying to push our Twitch platform. So check us out on Twitch over there. Thank you guys so much for watching the show. We hope you enjoyed ROH Final Battle and our review show. We send our well wishes out to all of the members of the ROH roster, ROH family. We hope they land on their feet, and we are very excited to see what this next year brings for them, and we're wishing all of them the best. Chris, do you have any final words to say?
Just hats off to Ring of Honor. Hats off to everybody who's been working backstage, those that have been performing for us, doing those long flights, doing the ROH bubble where they had to quarantine for so many days before actually stepping foot in the ring. Ring of Honor is the only promotion that did all the precautions for COVID, and hats off to them for that. I mean, they opened my eyes during the pandemic last year, so it's grateful that Fight has a lot of archived episodes that you guys can check out. If you guys are new to Ring of Honor or haven't watched Ring of Honor in a while, they lead up from 2016 to now. So if you want to check out more Ring of Honor, go to the Fight app or the website, and then just search up Ring of Honor. You could also purchase their pay-per-views, old pay-per-views, new pay-per-views, all that good stuff. And yeah, just hats off to everybody that worked their ass off there.
Yep. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure that you have a good night. Go enjoy some UFC. Apparently, Menunez just got choked out, and I gotta go watch that clip. So have a good night. Have a good life. Have a good week. All that good stuff. Support ROH still and all the wrestlers within the promotion. Thank you guys and have a great night. And